All right, guys. So let's look at another variation of this this arm lock, this Te Gatame. Okay, this time we hit it, but we hit it where rather than bringing our foot to our training partner's rib cage, we actually pass the foot over the head, almost like we would pass it over for an omoplata, right? And this a lot of times can be not as tight as well. It'll still be tight if you put it on right, if you put it on the right way, but there is some degree, some variables that will cause your training partner to be able to twist out of it. So it does kind of feed into an omoplata, right, with the leg passing over, etc. We'll talk about all that. So I get into this clamp position. And again, I run into that situation where he's starting to come up and I start looking to go in and start looking to kind of get into this this Te Gatame here, right? But as I go to do it, your training partner feels that pressure. And before it's on, he starts to turn the shoulder down. So what I'm looking to do is you'll notice that his arm is still straight and it's still wedged in my armpit here, okay? So what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to maintain his elbow as much as possible pointed towards the inside of my thigh. The more I can get that shoulder goes down and that wrist goes up, now we're in the territory of omoplata, right? Okay, so we're in other submission territory. So by all means, if it fails, you still have follow-ups, right? You still have other things that you can do. But let's say he was coming up. I got that elbow into good position, and right from here, he starts to dip that shoulder. Do your best to maintain a closed elbow. So think about that holstering action, and keep that knee nice and high so that I could still expose the pit of his elbow to the outside. If the pit of his elbow rotates to my hip, it's lost. As far as this submission is concerned, we go into secondary things. But if from here I can maintain that extension here, pushing away with this knee, that's going to give me a good ability to thread this foot over the top. And when I thread this foot over the top, the knee closes and you still have a very high fulcrum to break, right? That knee comes really close to the elbow, which is the breaking point. My elbow has to close. The second my elbow closes and I start to side crunch, you're going to get a really tight finish. So when I'm demonstrating it, a lot of times I do have an open elbow just because I want to be able to hold the position a little longer. So just bear that in mind. But as it's happening, pay attention to this. He's starting to come up. I close that elbow. As he goes down, watch this. As soon as I throw the leg over and I extend, you get a really, really tight break here. Okay? And you can see that from here, it's a very short breaking fulcrum. I get a good breaking pressure on the arm, and my elbow is coming down the whole time. I want to almost touch my elbow to my rib cage here as I crunch and drive the hips forward. So the motion is going to be, I try to finish with the first one. He starts to dip the shoulder, but I maintain the straightness in his arm by rotating my hand in and closing my elbow, side crunching in this way, and I keep his arm extended the whole time. And again, if it bends for whatever reason, he's a little quick and it's a little slippery, we can just go about finishing with some sort of a secondary attack. So I come in here, I had a good setup with the clamp, I feel him start to rise, I make that grip on the elbow, I start to apply pressure on it, he starts turning down, clamp down. A lot of times before you even throw that leg over, you're going to get a really, really tight finish. Worst case scenario, he slips, and we can go into some follow-up attacks from there.